The mind that remains curious and open to learning never grows old, for it is constantly being reborn through new understanding. And that is the thought for today. Welcome to 7 Good Minutes. I'm Clyde Lee Dennis. Thanks for joining me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. In today's episode of 7 Good Minutes, we talk about building a life of continuous learning and growth. Enjoy. The mind that stops learning begins to stagnate, like a river that ceases to flow. Yet, in our busy lives, the idea of continuous learning can feel like another burden to carry, another item on an already overwhelming to-do list. But what if learning wasn't something you had to squeeze into your schedule, but rather something that could be woven seamlessly into the fabric of your daily existence? By the end of this episode, you'll discover how to transform learning from an obligation into a natural rhythm of growth, creating habits that feed your curiosity and expand your world without adding stress to your life. Consider the child who learns to walk. They don't set aside specific hours for walking practice or create elaborate learning plans. They simply observe, attempt, fall, get up, and try again. Learning is their natural state, driven by curiosity and the joy of discovery. Somewhere along the way, many of us lose this organic relationship with learning, replacing it with formal structures and external pressures that can drain the joy from the process. Continuous learning isn't about accumulating degrees or mastering complex subjects, though it can include these things. It's about maintaining an open, curious relationship with the world around you. It's about recognizing that every day offers opportunities to understand something new, to see familiar things from fresh perspectives, to grow in wisdom and understanding. The key to integrating continuous learning into your life lies in making it effortless and enjoyable. Start by identifying the moments in your day when your mind is naturally receptive but underutilized. Perhaps it's during your morning coffee, your commute, or those few minutes before sleep. These are golden opportunities to feed your curiosity without disrupting your routine. Replace passive consumption with active learning. Instead of scrolling mindlessly through social media, listen to a podcast that explores ideas that fascinate you. Rather than watching the same type of entertainment every evening, occasionally choose a documentary about a subject you know nothing about. Transform your commute into a mobile classroom by listening to audiobooks or educational content that sparks your interest. But remember, the goal isn't to turn every moment into a learning opportunity. That would be exhausting and counterproductive. Instead, look for natural integration points where learning enhances rather than competes with your existing activities. When you're cooking, you might explore the cultural history of the dish you're preparing. When you're gardening, you could learn about the science of plant growth or the ecosystem you're nurturing. Embrace the power of micro-learning. You don't need hour-long study sessions to grow continuously. 5 minutes spent learning a new word, understanding a historical event, or exploring a scientific concept can accumulate into profound knowledge over time. The compound effect of small, consistent learning moments is remarkable. Cultivate conversations that teach you something new. Ask questions that go beyond surface-level pleasantries. When someone mentions their work, their hobby, or their travels, show genuine curiosity. Most people are delighted to share their knowledge and experiences, and you'll be amazed at what you can learn from the people already in your life. Make learning social and enjoyable. Join a book club, attend local lectures, or find online communities centered around subjects that interest you. When learning becomes a shared experience, it transforms from a solitary task into a source of connection and joy. Practice the art of beginner's mind. Approach familiar subjects with fresh eyes, as if encountering them for the first time. This mindset keeps you open to new insights and prevents the stagnation that comes from thinking you already know everything about a topic. Document your learning journey, not as a burden, but as a celebration. Keep a simple journal of interesting things you've learned, insights you've gained, or questions that have emerged. This practice helps consolidate your learning and creates a record of your intellectual growth that can be deeply satisfying to review. Remember that learning isn't just about acquiring information. It's about developing wisdom. True continuous learning involves not just gathering facts, but understanding how they connect, how they apply to your life, and how they can help you serve others more effectively. The most profound learning often comes from reflection on your own experiences. Take time to consider what your challenges have taught you, what your successes have revealed about your capabilities, and what your relationships have shown you about human nature. This internal learning is just as valuable as any external knowledge you might acquire. As you build these habits of continuous learning, you'll discover that growth becomes not something you do, but something you are. You'll find yourself naturally curious, perpetually growing, and increasingly wise. Your mind will remain flexible and engaged, your conversations will become richer, and your perspective on life will continue to expand. The journey of continuous learning is ultimately a journey of continuous becoming. Each new understanding, each fresh perspective, each moment of insight contributes to the ongoing creation of who you are. In a world that's constantly changing, the ability to learn and adapt isn't just an advantage. It's a gift you give to yourself and to everyone whose life you touch. That does it for today's episode of 7 Good Minutes. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on the platform you're listening on. Until next time, let's be civil to one another out there. Thanks for listening.